Another video on the AC Rants channel. This video is about me being worried that I'm falling behind compared to every other people my age. I feel like this is something that a lot of people can relate to because, I don't know, you just look around, like obviously social media has a big impact on it. You look around and you're just like, wow, all these people are doing all these amazing things. Then I look at my life and, well, it's not anything like theirs. I do worry because, you know, I see all these people doing these amazing things. You know, some people are starting to get married, some people have kids, some people have successful businesses, some people are traveling the world, and there's me in the same village I've been in my entire life doing the same sort of jobs I've done since I've left school, and it's like I've got nothing to show for it compared to these other people. You know, other people have been traveling, other people have started businesses, other people have done this, other people have done that, and I've done nothing compared to them. And I worry I'm falling behind, you know, my finances. I'm really trying to get my finances in order. You know, I'm really trying to put an effort into making sure I have good finances, making sure I'm budgeting, making sure I'm investing, making sure, you know, I have enough money to do whatever I need to do. For example, if my car breaks down, I have enough money for that. I have an emergency fund. I'm trying so hard with money, yet I just don't seem to be getting anywhere with it. You know, I'm trying to get in shape. That doesn't seem to be getting anywhere. But then again, I've only been doing it for 2.5 months. So, you know, probably need to do it a bit longer. But I'm improving my diet. I'm trying to, you know, improve how I look. I'm trying to get my money sorted. I'm trying all these things to improve my life, yet I still look around me and it's like I'm not anywhere near where these guys are. And it's hard because they're the same age as me. You know, I grew up with most of them, and, you know, we went to the same schools, and, you know, we went through the same classes, and, you know, they went through the classes and they've done all these amazing things, and I've gone through the classes and I'm just average. I don't want to be average. I don't want to be living an average life. I don't want to have to drive like an average car when I grow up. I don't have to worry about, if this breaks down in my house, you know, how am I going to pay for it? I don't want that to be my life. Yeah, it feels like everything I try to do to make sure that doesn't become my life, it just seems to backfire on me. You know, it just doesn't seem to go well, and I don't know what I'm supposed to do to counteract that. And I feel like I'm falling behind everyone else my age because I'm not where I want to be, and these people all seem to be where they want to be, and I don't know. I feel like this is a common problem which people have nowadays because social media, everything gets compared, everything gets, you know, skewed because people are showing the best part of their lives and they're not showing like the downs or the bits where they're struggling, and you only see the best part of their lives. But even that, you know, even with that thought process in my head, you know, it still feels like no matter what I do, I just can't seem to keep up, and I'm just destined to live a life which I don't want to live, and I don't want to feel that way anymore, but I don't know how to stop feeling that way. So it's confusing me. It's genuinely confusing me, especially since I have these big dreams and big goals that I want to achieve. You know, I want to go to Japan, I want to travel around Japan, I want to live in Japan, I want to, you know, become a YouTuber, I want to do all these amazing things. You know, I want to, for once in my life, you know, be in shape, have like a six-pack or whatever. I want to have good money. I want to be able to buy my dream car, you know, be able to go on a holiday whenever I want to be able to go on a holiday. Just, you know, have a person who loves me for me, and I have none of it. I literally have none of it, and every step that I seem to do just seems to put me further away from any of it. And I don't know whether this is a me thing or not, but I suppose, like, I've always been worried about how people view me, like less so now, but I've always been worried about how people view me and how I come across to people, and I don't want to come across as somebody who's being complacent, or somebody who's, you know, had all this time to do what they want to do and they've achieved none of it because they've been lazy or they've done certain things in their past which have fucked them up later down the road. I don't want to be that kind of person. You know, I want to be someone who, when I maybe eventually do have kids, if I decide to have kids, if a woman decides to love me, you know, that's still on the table. You know, eventually I want to be able to show them, like, look, I was able to do it, so you can do it as well. You know, like, I was a fuck up for most of my life. I've been a fuck up for most of my life, and I'm trying to do better every day. And, you know, because I tried, you know, I was able to. I want to be that inspiration, but I just feel so far behind other people my age, and it just feels like I'm falling behind constantly. And I don't know why. I honestly don't know why. I don't know what I can do to fix it. I just feel like no matter what I do, you know, I'm just always going to be stagnant. I'm always going to not be doing what other people are doing. I'm always going to be behind other people. And it's a rough feeling to have, I must admit. It's a rough feeling to have, especially when I grew up with, like, social anxiety. Not social anxiety, but, like, I grew up thinking, like, oh, I'm not good enough. And now, you know, you have this Instagram or whatever it is that you use to search up people, and you just like, wow, turns out I really wasn't good enough, because look, this person's in fucking Bali, this person's moved to New Zealand, this person's moved to Australia, this person's in Dubai running their own business. You know, And then there's me, you know, in my same old village, living with my parents and just living a dead-end life, really. And I'm trying not to live that dead-end life. I'm really trying to like branch out and do things that will allow me to not live this dead-end life. But it just seems like that's going to be my way if I don't get things to change. And I don't know where this comes from, to be honest. It's just something I've been feeling like recently. I'm just like, well, you know, this is how I'm feeling. You know, why not make a video about it? And it's hard, especially when you try to do better and you just don't, and everyone else just seems to be better at stuff than you. But you know what? At least I'm trying, you know, at least I'm trying to improve my life. At least I'm trying to get better. At least I'm trying to improve my situation. I know some people my age, you know, they're doing the exact opposite. You know, they're fucking up their life, they're ruining their finances, they're going down bad roads like drugs and alcohol and, you know, partying every weekend. And there's nothing wrong with partying every weekend, but like there's people out there who are just going to go down bad routes, and no matter what you do, they're just going to keep going down them. But they won't be posting about it. So, you know, you constantly see people are doing better than you, but you don't ever see people doing worse than you. So I suppose I can be quite thankful for that, but that still doesn't mean I don't want to do better. And that's really all I have for this video. It was sort of just a ramble. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.